Welcome to Coping with Life, Disabled and Mentally Ill. I am your host, Scott. Nice to meet you. So, when I use my brain, I'm not the most amazing thinker, but I try my best. This podcast, this entity I'm trying to build, there might be a lot of negativity, a lot of sadness. I will talk about subject matter that a lot of people try and plug in there and say this doesn't exist. But things like suicide and breakdowns and self-harm, etc., that stuff is real. And growing up is hard because a lot of time they're like, oh, you're just lazy, or, suck it up, or you're just weak. No. Depression is really more than that. There's so much to depression that a lot of people don't know. And there's some people in my circle who says, I'm depressed. It's like, no, you're just sad because you stubbed your toe. Depression is a serious illness, and some people have it a lot worse than others. And sometimes, it does horrible things to a psyche, and there's a lot of things that does cause depression. Stresses in life cause depression. There's trauma, there's abuse, neglect, bullying, chemical imbalances, grief and loss, being a carer at the expense of their own well-being, could be even genetic. Lack of fulfillment, that I know a lot of people who, they see themselves being what they currently are not. There's lifestyle factors, body image issues, perfectionism, lack of social support, low self-esteem, chronic fatigue, and depression is a very complicated illness. There's not a simple solution. And no matter how much medicine you may take or what helps saying, don't be sad. Get over it. And, with anxiety, depression, there's so much more to mental awareness, mental health, and just straight up well-being. There's a lot of people out there who hide the fact that they're depressed. Because, like I just alluded to a couple minutes ago, where somebody will say, oh, you're not depressed, you're just sad. And the reason why I said that earlier was because I hear that a lot. Oh, you're not depressed, you're sad, you stubbed your toe. It's like, no, you don't hear the weight on my shoulder. You don't understand what I've been through in 34 years, or whatever your story may be. What has happened to you in your life. It's really time for us to sit back and listen. and try and go, instead of lambasting somebody and going, you're not sad, you're not depressed, just think happy thoughts. Just think happy thoughts. Well, if it was that easy, I don't think I would be sitting here with all the emotional scars and weight I'm carrying. Because it's not that easy. And it's okay. It's okay not being okay. It's taken me 34 years to understand that it's okay not being okay. I am me, and I know very well that I'm not as bad as a lot of people I know, but for quote-unquote normal people, I'm somebody who you look at and go, oh, you're not depressed. I don't. It's like, well, I'm very good at hiding it. Unless you really know me. Because I try really hard to be very positive. That's something that I'm very passionate being is, you know what? I'm going to have a good day today. It's not easy. And it takes so much toll on me having this persona that I use of like happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday. And I take pride in, telling people, strangers, like, you know what, I love you. I love you very much. And the reason why I do that because, people don't say that enough. And that is who I am. I've always been somebody to flash a smile, be goofy, make somebody laugh, even when I'm not being okay. And when I'm not feeling the best. And I hid my personal life problems for a majority of my life. And now I have an outlet. Now I can go, I'm okay telling people that, I'm not mentally sound. I have problems. But I'm me, and I try and live my life the best I can. And that is something that I'm passionate about. I love making people smile. Love, if somebody posts, hey, I just had a terrible day at work. It's like, you know what? I'm here for you. If you ever want to vent, if you ever want somebody to listen to, you got my ears. Because I'm here for you. And it goes for anybody. Having somebody vent, and, there's people who will come into a party chat where I am, and they just vent. And they're like, oh, what is everybody talking about? It's like, no, continue. Get it off your chest. Vent. Venting is good. And that is something that I'm very passionate about. Talk about your feelings. Let it out. If you don't like something, say it. It is okay not being okay. Because I'm far from being okay. And I'm actually a lot more happier since I basically announced to my circle, it's like, you know what? I've been suffering from this stuff for my entire life. And I'm happy. It lifted a lot of pressure because it's just depression is one of those things that a lot of people that I've talked about, they brush it aside. And even doctors that I have encountered in my life, majority of them are like, nope, you're not depressed. There's no way somebody like you, as young as you are, can be depressed. And all the therapists that I've ever had go, my God, wow. Okay. Where do we begin? It's like, well, pick a year. Let's go down the rabbit hole. And, there's with anxiety and depression, those are just the outer shell of mental health and mental illnesses, because there's so much more. And I suffer from a lot of things, and I love helping people understand that, I just can't wake up and go, hey, I'm gonna have a great day today. Because, I can go to bed about 4 in the morning, be smiling because I had a great day, great night, and wake up 2 hours later and just be miserable. Because my brain is like, you know what? This is going to be your day. And then other weight of news that may come across just weigh me down. I actually have a saying that I tell people, not only because I think it's funny, but it hits two people go, oh, okay. And I tell people that I am an emotional type Pokemon. I do wear my heart on my sleeve, and everything affects me. And when I'm in a group of people, let's say I'm in a group of 6 people, I'm probably going to find the nearest corner and hide. Yeah. I find the nearest corner and hide. If I have my phone on me, I'm probably going to be looking at things to help my brain be intellect. There might be a subject that I really want to learn. So I research. I try and understand things that I don't understand. And I don't understand that. I don't understand why there's a lot of things that I don't understand. It's life. So I try and do research and learn. And most times that I ask somebody something, 2 weeks later I will ask that same question and they're like, oh, I already told you. It's like, I wouldn't be asking if I didn't remember. I don't know. I wouldn't be asking if I remembered. There you go. I know somebody who is like, that's redundant, or whatever they may say of, that. So you do remember? It's like, I don't know. I'm rambling. A lot of this will be rambling. But I want people to know that mental health, depression, you're not alone. And if you're somebody who do not suffer any mental illnesses, and you are doing the research and you want to there, I'm so glad that you found my podcast. And, instead of telling somebody, oh, you're not depressed, sit down, talk to them. The best way to get better in mental illnesses and be a lot better mentally is talking to somebody and having a support system. And when you're not doing well, have them build you up and not yell at you for being quiet and miserable. Because that's going to help me. That's going to help me very well. Because then I go on autopilot mode. I'm fine. No, I'm good. I'm fine. I've been saying that a lot lately. Because I'm not fine. Definitely not fine. And I'm okay with that. Because that is where my mental health is. With the current world, I'm doing my best. That's all we, as the human race, can do at this point, is try our best and, help people. Either help people understand where you are and, anxiety is horrible. Having panic attacks, anxiety attacks, and even if things are different for everybody is different, everybody has their own ideologies and way of thinking, which is perfectly amazing, and keep living the best of your life. But, our bodies have built-in systems. Some people don't have them. Some people do not have the guilty conscience or red flag. A lot of people don't have inner dialogues with themselves. All that stuff is fascinating for me. But, if somebody comes up to you and asks you for $10 million, you're going to say no. But if somebody comes up to you and asks you if they can do something for a sandwich, some people's instincts will say no and keep on walking. But some people will talk to them. But in my opinion, as somebody who's lenient on both sides of that situation, depends on my day, but both of them are acceptable. Both of them are okay. And I love helping people. I love talking to people. And, I will do anything to help people smile. Be a beaming light of, hey, I haven't seen you in 2 weeks. Hope you have a great day. Because you don't know where that person may be in their life. You don't know if that's going to be the last time you see them. And that is where I live in my little bubble. I have the people close to me. And it's really, really hard for me to let people in my world. And I have trust issues. I have a huge problem of just being me too much. And the way I put it is, if somebody wants me in their life, I'm here. But if they don't, there's the door. And with life, I a lot of people take advantage of my niceness, my generosity, of me just spending a lot of energy, giving all my love. With the giant heart that I have, the positive, people, they get their kicks by lying to me, hiding things behind my back, talking bad about me, spreading misfortune, or taking something that I've said out of context and drama. I'm not in drama. If somebody asks me for my opinion, I'm going to tell them the truth. Not going to sugarcoat things. And a lot of people have said, well, you're hiding this thing from me. It's like, yeah, actually, I am. One of the reasons why I'm hiding what I'm feeling or what I'm thinking about right now is because one of my huge problems in my world is I have abandonment issues. I don't want to say something that will have somebody walk out of my life that I genuinely care about, because it leaves an empty void, and no matter what I do, I can't fill that void. And there was a psychiatrist that I saw once upon the moon, and they said, oh, just find something to fill that void. And I'm like, my brain doesn't work that way. If somebody has a place in my life and they depart, and it leaves an empty void, that place, that voidness is earmarked for them, or whatever may be. It's like that's their space, and it does take a toll at times, and it's really hard to understand that everyone's different, everybody thinks a little bit differently, and I don't think that's a bad thing. But and there's so many other levels of mental illnesses that all correlate and spiderweb into different things. I'm not bipolar, but borderline personality disorder is something that I suffer from. Two totally different but the same kind of concept. But abandonment issues, there's mental illnesses are very common, but a lot of people try and ignore. And it's time for us to go, you know what, we need to try and help people, try and get more positive. And I can't save the world, but you know what, damn it, I'm going to try. I'm going to try and be me and smile and do the best things that I can do. Because with depression, there's there's tiers. There's a lot of levels to depression, and depending on my mental state, I can only speak for myself, and that is what I'm going to do. So for me, it will start as a slow burn. I will feel that, this is going to hurt so much. Okay. And then so I try really hard to counterbalance that, because at that point, that is something that I can control. At that stage, at level 1 depression, to me, I can go, okay, you know what? I feel that this is going to affect me. And so I'm going to do everything to counterbalance my brain so I can try and not have a down day. Level 2 is I will stop looking at social media. I will stop talking to people. Because if there is a negative tweet, or if there's something bad happening in the world, which there's always something bad happening in the world, it's going to affect me. And it's going to put weight on my shoulders. If somebody is going to come up and yell at me or scream at me, depending on my mood, I don't argue. I listen, smile, nod, walk away. I'm 34. I'm not 13. I'm going to act like an adult even though I'm one of the biggest children out there. And I want people to understand that my way of thinking is just my way of thinking, and it's information of how I'm articulating myself and putting myself out there, saying, hey, I also suffer from mental illnesses and disability. You're not alone, and I'm in the point of my life that I like helping people, and also helping non-people, and I love making people smile. I love people. I love, people say, hey, I did a thing that was silly, and I'm like, hey, silly's good. Being silly, it's something amazing. And I will forever be a proponent of, sometimes I do it in inappropriate places, but, that's where my brain is. Smiling and just being oneself. And the world is a highly negative place. A lot of people are toxic. A lot of people will spread their drama, and all that they do is they bitch, moan, complain. And when they come to me and they ask me for my advice, I will give them advice, and yet they don't listen to it. They go, oh, you're wrong. I'm like, okay, well, thank you. Have a wonderful day. But, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I may love to people please you, but I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm going to be honest. You can ask me the same question 10 different times in 10 days. My answers may shift. I may, think a little bit differently or be in a different sense of, I may have been mistaken. I may have misinterpreted what you were getting at. That happens a lot. I do talk in circles a lot. And with the way of communicating, I don't story time. For a few years I was sitting down and people would call me, text me. It's like, hey, what did you do today? It's like what I do every day, sitting down playing video games. And I'm like, oh, cool, that's awesome. And then the next day it's like, oh, hey, what did you do today? Sat around, played video games. It's like, next day it's like, hey, are you home? It's like, yeah, I'm sitting at home playing video games. Oh, cool. It's like, that's what I do. There is a good portion that I'm probably going to be sitting at home playing video games. And I also go through phases. I will, earlier this year of 2021, I had a streak going where I didn't sleep. I was up for a long time. I was up for a very long time. And I didn't want to sleep. I was afraid to sleep. The dreams, the nightmare that I was having, I no longer wanted to sleep. So I kept myself up. And then I slept. And then I was very depressed. That's all that I wanted to do. And people who would call me and they're like, okay. And they were very disappointed that all that I was doing was sleeping and not interacting with the world. And that does hit me like a 10-ton of bricks. And it's, psychology is something that I don't understand. But I do my best to live the best I can live. And with, repetitive, there was a few people who have yelled at me for playing video games. I will tell the story. So there was this person that I was talking to, and I led with, hey, I'm playing video games today. Whee! And so I'm like, hey, I'm spending time with my close friends who are amazing. And they laid into, was like, well, you're just lazy. All you do is video games, being disabled and being you know, how dare you be this lazy, not doing anything with your life? And I'm like, okay. See, I have no problem when people say that to me. I hear it all the time. I can filter that out and try and make the best out of it. And I will. But the thing that got me was they were attacking my friends. They were attacking the people that I care about. They didn't know my friends, but I know my friends, and I'm going to stick up for them. You know, it's like, yeah, you know what? If I can sit down, play a game, even if they're not talking, they're having the best time in their life for listening to either, not absolute silence, but I do try and be goofy or say things that may or may not make them smirk or groan most of the time. But it's like, they live stressful lives. They are going through their own set of problems. And so I'm going to do everything in my power to make them feel good, even if I'm not mentally sound and I'm not doing well. And it does. It does have a negative effect on me, trying to be so positive. And I what I mean by that is, you know, let's say I am spending 4 hours making people laugh, and on the off chance that it doesn't actually make me feel good, I will have a brain misfire that says, you make everybody happy, but you can't be happy for yourself. You're not allowed to be happy. Your place in life is to make everybody happy, make everybody smile, and you get nothing. And if on the off chance that I'm not doing very well, and that misfire happens, you know, it does have a negative output, because, you know, I may be laughing, I may be doing great, and then something may halt it, or somebody may say something that my brain goes, see, you can't have that. So now you're going to think about how miserable you are, and how there's a lot of things in life that are locked off to you for just being who you are. And you know, that's okay. And it's okay not being okay. If you are enjoying this podcast, if you're enjoying my rambles, feel free to go to anchor.fm/coping with life. That's COPINGWITHLIFE. Should bring you to my page. If you want, feel free to support my channels. We have a Facebook page, we have Twitter, we have our links should be on that page as well, and find other ways to listen to my podcast. And please, if you want to help me out to continue doing what I'm really passionate in doing, please, and feel free to reach out to me. I would love to hear your stories, talk to you. I may not be able to in a timely fashion, but I would love to just see how you are, because I live my life being positive. Sometimes it does take a toll on me, not always. Recently I've been doing well, not being well, and when I woke up today, when I'm recording this, I felt miserable. Half a day later, I'm actually doing good. Didn't talk to anybody today. Nobody wanted to talk to me. But, I made the best of it and turned my negative, depressed state into positive, because it was, something that I could control. Not always. I can't always control what I cannot control. Excuse me. And life is hard. We all need a good support system. We all need to find a way to smile. And sometimes it's not easy. And I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell this story. I was in Dallas, Texas. I was on a bus. I think it was more the trolley downtown. But I was just looking out, and so I get off, and this person looked at me and said, "I want your life. I envy you. You get to do what you want, and you live carefree, and, I wish I had that." I smiled at them, and I saw what their life alluded to be. And I went, yeah, well, I wish I had yours. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, from what I see, you have children, you have a family, you have people who care about you. Yeah, I have people who care about me too. I didn't say that at that time, but I'm just inserting that here. But, yeah, I may be able to do things that a lot of people may frown upon, and I've traveled a lot. I do travel a lot. I'm now going away from the story and just rambling. I've done a lot of stuff, and I live a gypsy kind of life. I have one life. I have one life to live. And when I tell somebody I'm going to do something, it's going to happen. Even if I fail, at least I know for a fact that I did my best. And even if, my best wasn't to somebody's version of what they want. And that's okay. Because, I've done a lot of things. Sometimes I've done things for other people and kind of backfired for me. And those mistakes I remember very well. And so the goals, the motivation in my life, I love making people smile and laugh. But for me, sometimes it's like, you know what? I'm going to do this. the thing that I hear a lot is like, yeah, right, with what? It's like, oh, I will. I will. I will do this. One of the things that I'm very proud of, I'm very proud of me and the way that I have been in my life, the ups and downs. And I don't consider it lucky. I don't consider it amazing. I'm just blessed, and I'm doing my best. And I love everybody. I try really hard to be very positive. And sometimes, most of the times, me being positive really does make me feel good. I'm just sampling and being honest, saying, sometimes it has a negative effect on me. But, traveling and doing, there's the, where I've hitchhiked, I've done a lot of things going, you know what, I'm going to just uproot myself and do this. I've done that a few times, and because I'm, at the end of the day, I'm me. I got no significant other. I don't got kids. I don't have an anchor. Therefore, I do have the liberties to go, oh, you know what? I'm going to go here. Now, I would love to do it, wake up, on a Wednesday and go, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. But I plan for it, and I will sacrifice a lot of stuff to do what my brain and what is exciting. And it's like, I'm going to do this. And so back to the person who said that they interviewed me and I interviewed them. And we were talking for a little bit, and I was somebody who did it wasn't comedy-ish, because basically I'm doing exactly what I was doing now, or am doing now. Words are hard. But I would talk about my life, and I would say, hey, if I make you laugh, or if I did mean to, not my intention, I'm here going to make you feel. You need to feel some emotion. I'm going to save the latter for a different there, because there's more to that saying. But I do like to educate people with my stories and my life experiences. Some of them are good, some of them are not good. Words, my train derailed. Normally it's other people who derail my trains, but I can do it like the best of them. And this is one of the reasons why I'm very passionate in doing what I'm doing, because I'm loving just expressing myself. Just recording these episodes and going through the emotions and being real, being honest, it's very therapeutic. And I hopefully you're learning something, and learning how somebody may think. So, mental illnesses, depression. There's a lot of things that people don't understand. And, so sometimes everything hits you all at once. You lose a relationship, you change jobs, old friends go, and new friends come. It's up one day and down the next. You have it all together on Monday. And by Thursday, you don't have a clue. Life is one big wave, and all we can do is flow, grow, and adapt. And that is, it's very heartwarming and very knowing that there's a lot of people out there who care and who are silently screaming and silently struggling. And, there was a person who came up to me. Well, they didn't come up to me, they messaged me, and I encourage you to reach out to somebody who you care about. And they reached out to me and said, I wish I was doing what you were doing. And I'm like, you can. And, do what you love. And I've, I may not be able to speak very clearly. I may not be able to speak like a lot of people. But, I worked really hard to be where I am. I am very passionate about that. I'm glad that I had to fight for my life, fight for everything there. Now, there's a lot of autism in me. I am on the spectrum. I am very highly autistic, but, those battles, those things I'm passionate about because, I am me. I love making people smile. I love spreading awareness, saying, hey, it's okay. I was at a grocery store not too long ago. And just all the negativity, I wish everybody can be happy. I wish the best for everybody. I'm a huge proponent that, life can get better. And there's a lot of people out there who have to remind me, life will get better. You will get what you want out of life. And, sometimes you have to wait. And sometimes it's hard. But you know what? Sometimes you have to pull yourself from the bottom and take reins for yourself and try and go, I am going to have a good day today. I am going to take a shower. I am going to put on pants. Small victories. And you have to take one day at a time. And I take one day at a time now. And look to the future. And, get through it. And hopefully you have a sound support system. And there's so much out of life. And, I'm talking about the real people who are struggling. There's a lot of bad apples out there. There's a lot of attention seekers. There's a lot of people who will just lie and manipulate people. And that tears my heart. That rips every soul, because those are the people who give us a bad name. And we're not like that. So if you're feeling down, if you're not doing very well mentally, or if you know somebody who is not doing well mentally, tell them that you love them. Because, I'll do it for you right now. I love you. I love each and every one of you. Everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves a smile. Everybody deserves a chance. And I hope everybody the best. Thank you so much for joining me on this ride. And until next time. And feel free to reach out to me if you have an idea for a future episode. I'm just going to talk about many things. Some things, it may be an entire episode of gaming. Could be an episode about wrestling. Could be anything and everything. But, smile. You're loved. People care about you. And I hope everybody that you will get where you need to go in life and chase your dreams. Chase your dreams. Be the best you. At the end of the day, you're you. And be honest, be who you are. And know that, life will get better. And I will end here just saying, I love you. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it may be to you. I bid you adieu. This has been another episode of Coping with Life. Thank you so much for listening, and share with friends and family. Until next time, have a wonderful day.